It is the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and the new ESPN San Antonio app. Along with Dat Win, I'm Jason Minix, and let's talk about 7 straight losses now for the Dallas Cowboys with head coach Jason Garrett, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, 225-2121. Or online, mybestbailbonds.com. Coach, always appreciate you taking the time. I know it can't be easy. The frustration's got to mount week in and week out. I mean, a game where you guys don't even get into the end zone once has to surprise you even quite a bit, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, no question about it. And, yesterday's game was I think typical of what's happened here in this last little stretch where we've had opportunities late in the ball game to win the game, and we haven't gotten it done. And whether that's not making a stop on defense or not making enough plays on offense or in the kicking game, and that's happened a number of times here over the last month and a half. And again, I think our team is playing hard and they're fighting and scratching and clawing. But the key to having success in this league is having executing and having the success necessary to win the game in the fourth quarter. And we just haven't done that. And yesterday was another example of that.
Coach, you guys are playing hard, and it seems like you guys have every opportunity to win games here of late. And now you get put in the hands of some of the referees. I know we don't blame the referees for it, but they did call a call on Jeff Heath down there at the end when they fumbled the ball when you guys recovered. Basically, the game was over. And then the one on Dez Bryant was kind of blatant that they pushed Dez. Are you surprised that the referee are calling it so inconsistent here this year?
Well, again, you said it. I don't want to get into the officiating, and one of the things we got to keep our focus on is coaching and playing to the best of our ability. And sometimes those are big plays at the end of ball games, but we got to do what we need to do to somehow, some way execute those plays. And I thought Scott Linehan did a great job on that last play, giving us a real opportunity at the end of the game to score that touchdown, to give Dez a chance on that deep corner post that he ran. And unfortunately, we weren't able to come down with that one. That really would have been a big play.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly, the takeaway, when they had the opportunity just prior to that, would have been a big play for us. But, we got to make those plays, and, we have to focus on how we can execute those critical moments.
And Coach, it seems like during this losing streak, there's always a couple of plays that we all focus on. And, we're all smart enough to realize there could be a situation that happened in the second quarter that contributed to the loss. But you focus as fans, as media types, on what happens late because you remember. Are you surprised that Dez Bryant had 2 opportunities? He had the drop on third down, and even he said he was waiting for the ref to throw the flag and didn't even try for that football, that your best player, your star wide receiver, let you down on 2 occasions in that game?
Well, Dez is a great player and has been a great player for us, and he's a guy in those situations that we'll go to, and we believe in him, and his teammates believe in him, and he's a guy who makes those plays over and over and over again, week in and week out for us. So we'll keep giving him opportunities. Unfortunately, 2 of those cases, we weren't able to finish those plays, but that's not going to deter us in the future. He's a heck of a player and has been, and we have a great deal of confidence in his ability to make those plays.
His lack of focus that he talked about some after the game yesterday, saying he wasn't focused on some of those plays, how much of that do you attribute to that locker room tirade he had on Thursday?
Well, I think the biggest issue with Dez has been, he's been coming back from this injury, and he hasn't been able to practice on a consistent enough basis here the last couple of weeks. And even a player of his stature, you need to get out there and practice. And he was dealing with a few different things, the foot, his knee, his ankle, some other things going on over the course of the week. And guys need to practice to play well. And I think that's been the factor, maybe more than anything else, that's contributed to any inconsistency that he's had, is just that consistent practice play over the course of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They really get you ready to go play in the ball game. And, he did some good things in the game for us, but he was a little bit inconsistent, and I would attribute to that more than anything else.
There's a lot of positive in the game, and Byron Jones, Coach, this is a guy that you picked out of UConn in the first round this year. He played some free safety, and then you think about playing corner. All training camp, he played nickel and he played dime, and all of a sudden Mo Claiborne's go down. He haven't played really much outside corner at all. He goes out there, and I thought he played exceptionally well for a guy not getting much reps. Could you share a little bit about a guy like this? Have you seen a young player in a player like Byron Jones that are capable of playing multiple positions and excelling at all those phases?
He's really impressive that way, and there were so many things to like about him coming out of school. And I think it starts more than anything else with the kind of young man he is, and very much of an achiever. He's a hard-working guy. It's important to him. He just has he's got great makeup, his work ethic, and how willing he is to dive into any situation and compete. And we saw all those traits when he was in college, and then certainly he demonstrated those to us as soon as he got here. And like you said, we played him in a lot of different spots throughout training camp and the preseason. The last couple of weeks he's been playing free safety for us and done a heck of a job, and I think he's grown at that position. But when Mo went down, we just felt like he gave us the best opportunity to have some success covering those outside guys, and like he's done since we've known him, he just dives into it and says, "Okay, coach, whatever you need." So it's safety, it's corner, it's nickel, it's dime, it's any of those spots. He's embracing the opportunity. I thought he did a good job yesterday.
Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett with us here on the Office Furniture Express hotline on ESPN San Antonio. And speaking of Mo, I know he was supposed to have an MRI on that right hamstring. Are the results in on that? What's his status going to be for Sunday against Miami?
Well, don't really know yet. He's gonna get that MRI, and we'll kind of take it day by day, and we'll see how he is as the week goes on. Mo's played really well for us up to this point this year, and competing well. And it's unfortunate that he had to come out of that ball game. He had a tough matchup with Evans, and was battling. But hopefully he'll be back soon. But we'll take his situation day by day.
Coach, you've always been carrying two quarterbacks throughout pretty much your whole career there, or tenure there in Dallas. This weekend, Tony Romo's coming back. Any chance that you can address all three of those quarterbacks?
Well, we'll just see. We'll see how the week unfolds, and how we want to work the roster. And really, so much of the decisions we make have a lot to do with the health at other positions and where everybody is. So we'll see where Tony is as the week goes on, and we'll see where some of the other guys are. What their availability is going to be.
7 straight losses. Mathematically, the Cowboys are still there. You look at the rest of the division, only 2 back in the loss column. The expectation now is Tony's going to be back. Cowboys are going undefeated and can still make the playoffs. I know that's kind of unfair to Tony Romo to put that kind of pressure on him coming off of an injury. Realistically, with rust, how much has he been able to work in practice over the last week or so and this week to just get that rust knocked off of him?
Well, he's done a good job the last couple of weeks. He's been out there, a couple practice days to throw individual routes or throw some 7-on-7. Last week he got involved in some 11-on-11. It's all scout team work, working the opponent's offense against our defense. But it does give him a chance to get out there and just play a little bit and get a little bit comfortable, playing football again. And he's responded well to the work, and we do anticipate him practicing, this week. And hopefully, we'll take it day by day, and hopefully he'll respond well and be ready to go by week's end.
Coach, I know you don't look ahead quite a bit often as most people do, but you are in a position where it's unique for the Cowboys every year. This is a time of year that you play 3 games in 11 days, or you think about backing them off just a little bit because you played Sunday, you just played yesterday, you can play again Sunday, and then you come back and play on a Thanksgiving. So it'll be 3 games in 11 days. How's that schedule working, and how are you going to cut those players back on reps-wise?
Well, I think the biggest thing that you have to do is make sure you get your preparation, but you just got to figure out a different way to do it. And certainly with the actual Thanksgiving week, we dial those practices back. We get the content on the field, but the tempo is completely different. It's a walk-through or at most a jog-through over the course of those days. And even this week, you have to be mindful of the amount of work that the guys have gotten in. And like you said, playing a lot of football in a short period of time. So, we always try to be very conscious of that. You want to make sure you get the reps in, but you want to make sure that the players are fresh as well. And we try to do the right thing with our players that way, find what that balance is, and we'll do that again this week and next week.
Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett with us here on ESPN San Antonio. There are a lot of reports today that Greg Hardy was late to practice on Thursday. According to Christy Scales from the Cowboys Radio Network, he got into it with DeMarcus Lawrence on the sideline during yesterday's game. Are you getting enough from Greg Hardy on the field to justify the amount of questions you get off the field about Greg Hardy?
Greg's done a good job for us on the field. He's one of those guys that gets a lot of attention from the opposing offense, and typically there's a tight end or a back or some other guy trying to help the tackle or the offensive lineman in protection. So that's a positive thing for us above and beyond just the production that he has. But like with everybody, we have standards for how we want to conduct ourselves both on and off the field, and we have expectations that we make very clear to all our players, and we're trying to hold our guys to that, and we'll do that with everybody on our football team, and hopefully get them in the right frame of mind to play their best football on Sunday.
Coach, you're going to go play Miami this weekend, and your old teammate Dan Campbell. You got any stories on Dan when you were there with him at New York?
Well, just that I love him. He was such a good player and such a great teammate, and he was there before I got there. I was down here in Dallas and went up there, and he had been there a couple of years already, and he just was one of those guys that we gravitated towards each other, and he just plays the game the right way, and I know he's coaching the game the right way. You see that in how his team is playing, and those Texas A&M guys, I'll tell you what, there's something in the water down there in College Station, because they certainly go about it the right way. And fortunate to be around Dan. Really appreciate him as a friend and a teammate, and he's certainly done an outstanding job in his time there in Miami.
You took over mid-season as he did this year. Have you talked to him and helped him at all with the transition, or texting a little bit about what it's like taking over mid-season when a coach gets let go?
We didn't talk specifically about that. When he got that position, I reached out to him and just said congratulations and to go get him. And that's what he's all about. He's got such a great spirit about him. He loves the game of football. He loves being part of a team, and he's the right kind of guy in so many different ways. So I just wished him well, and they'll present a great challenge for our football team this week. Is
Sean Lee going to be able to play Sunday against Miami?
We're certainly hopeful. We anticipate him being able to practice on Wednesday, so we'll see how that goes.
Coach Jason Garrett, I know it's been rough 7 weeks, but you get Tony Romo back next Monday. Let's talk about a win.
Absolutely. Great talking to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, 225-2121, 225-2121, online at mybestbailbonds.com.